AITAH for taking my best friend on an extravagant date and not my GF? I know this sounds bad. I, 40 meters, grew up in the foster system and aged out. As did my best friend, 38F. We were in a home together in our teens and stayed in contact. The bond I have with her is like nothing I have ever had. But there is no romance here. No matter how many people in our lives have pushed it. That said, we both bought condos in the same building. She is happily married and her husband and I are good friends. He is deathly allergic to shellfish to the point that my friend won't eat it herself because she worried she will set off a reaction even though she loves it. Her husband travels a few times a year and he always asks me to take her out and give her crabs or lobster, whatever she wants. He is out of town this next week and I got us reservations at a really nice seafood restaurant. There is also a musical in town I know she wants to see, so I got tickets and I got us a hotel room with 2 beds at a nice hotel. We will check out some museums and do a wine tasting the following day. All in all, this will probably be a $1,500 weekend. But we have gotten to do this since COVID started. If she was my blood sister, no one would care. But she isn't, and my GF of 6 months is pissed. She says I must want something with her to throw this kind of money at her, but I just really like treating her. I am where I am in life because of her support and love and belief in me. She has always been my #1 cheerleader and always believes in me even when I don't believe in myself. We have also helped each other financially over the years. I do understand that getting a hotel room with a woman looks suspicious. But she in my eyes is a sister and the only family I have. Her husband knows and encourages it. We all interact regularly and he gets our relationship. I haven't even been dating this woman a year. My best friend and I have known each other for over 20 years. I don't think it is reasonable for her to expect big, expensive dates at this point. She is mad that I am spending so much on taking another woman on an extravagant weekend and not her. AITAH. Info: have you had a frank and honest discussion with your GF about your relationship with your best friend? About her support over the years and how you are where you are because of her? Also, does she have close male friends? As in, does she believe that men and women can be close friends without one of them wanting to sleep with the other, since there are some who can't believe it? Quick tip: start calling her your sister. Future issues will be resolved automatically. Edit. I got a quick tip for me as well to make a judgment. NTA. Too lazy to be the devil's advocate. RN lol. I'm a bit torn on this. Obviously there's nothing wrong with doing this for your adoptive sister. Although I'd stop calling it a date and start calling her your sister. But I also get from your girlfriend's perspective that if she's wanting this kind of intensity, intimacy, and seeing you lavish it on another woman who you're calling a friend, and when you're calling it a date, I'd be a little, yo, what the fuck? You think 6 months is too early for this, and your girlfriend disagrees with you. Normally I'd blame her for throwing a fit, but it sounds like you may have brought some of this on by getting way too detailed with her about your plans. Like, it does sound like a great weekend, but you've got this woman. You're with her. She wants more from you. And here you are going into detail about how you're getting this great hotel and going to this killer restaurant with someone who isn't her. It's a bit salt in the wound. Why? If you just pitched this as, honey, I'm going to be out of town this weekend with my adoptive sister. We're taking the chance to catch up while her husband travels for work. Then none of this would have happened. You're not obligated to lie, of course. But it feels a bit gauche to invite her to compare in detail the treatment you're giving another woman on what you yourself are calling a date. Thus I'm going to forgive her a little more than I normally would for getting into it with you. It feels like you've handled this with her in a way designed to solicit commentary, and are now surprised that she's not on board. Time to have a conversation about whether your needs or expectations are the same. Nah from me, I guess. Calling it a date immediately sets the wrong expectations, I mean truly awful expectations. I've never taken a friend of mine on a date. We've gone and ate at dinners, but it's not a date. A date sets the expectation that some kind of romance is involved. Think about it like this: multiple dates is dating. How many people do you know that are dating their sister? Your explanation makes sense to me, but there's a few things you could do differently to clear up the misconceptions. Refer to her as your sister because that's essentially what you are to each other, and for the love of God, get 2 different hotel rooms. Take her out and give her crabs. Joker voice, very poor choice of words. Okay, serious question. I have also commented this as a reply, but I'd like to make this a separate comment. If it's the husband that's going out of town and not them, why do they need a hotel room? Can't they just do their activities during the day, evening, and then come sleep at their homes? That would solve the hotel problems and save up a bunch of money too. Info. Why isn't your girlfriend invited? People bring so on family trips all the time. The question is, do you see a future with your girlfriend? This isn't about what I have always done, because your girlfriend wasn't always there. Being in a relationship isn't just about not cheating, but also not doing things that leads you so into thinking you could be. It's called being considerate of their emotions. Yes, there is a line to be drawn between you both so you don't lose who you are to the other person, but you can't just dig your heels in and refuse to compromise. If you are unwilling to meet in the middle, this may be as simple as getting an extra room. Which, let's face it, isn't a struggle or effort, and there is no real reason that compels you to share a room. Then you two just aren't compatible. There is nothing wrong with saying your friend is more important than your current girlfriend. Not every relationship is forever. The move is to make your GF feel invalidated, crazy, or insecure. Don't punish her with your response for having reasonable expectations in a relationship. She has boundaries. You have boundaries. If they don't match up, have an adult conversation. IDK. Are you serious about this, GF? Do you treat her to big days out like this, too? Have you frequently overlooked your GF when making plans with your sister? Has your GF met your sister and seen how platonic you are? I'm glad you have such a close relationship with your sibling. I have 3 and we would just about never do anything like this with each other. Let alone have one person treat for the whole extravagant trip. What have you actively done to reassure your girlfriend? Being oblivious to her feelings and their validity makes you an awe. Doing nothing to reassure her makes you an awe. Having a strong relationship with your foster sister, as long as it is truly a sister-brother relationship, does not make you an awe. Your sister's husband being okay with the relationship has nothing to do with your responsibility to establish trust with your GF. YTA for the stupid joke about giving her crabs. Been reading your comments and have to say YTA. No one wants to date or be in a romantic relationship with someone when they know they will never be the number one priority. You keep making such a big deal about the 20 years you've known your best friend. And you use best friend way more than you use sister when you talk. And the only 6 months that you've known your girlfriend. No girlfriend is ever going to catch up. When does she become a priority? When does that happen? Because the way you talk here, and I have to assume The way you've explained it to your girlfriend. She's never going to, and she better damned well get used to it. You're going to find very few women who are willing to put up with that. Anytime someone brings up a reason your girlfriend would be upset, you're immediately dismissive. It's pretty clear you're actually unwilling to consider her feelings and are just looking for validation. You might find it here, but it's not going to get you very far in real romantic relationships. Is there a reason you didn't invite your GF as well? YTA. Unintentionally. You have created doubt in your GF's mind. 1. Change the hotel reservation to separate rooms. 2. Always call her sister. 3. Never call this family getaway a date. 3. Plan a nice weekend away with your GF because 6 months is long enough to expect a little splurge sometime. Info. How many of your romantic partners have left you over your friend, sister? Frankly, the biggest red flag is you keep calling it a date. It may be wise to stop doing that. Would you be okay if your GF went on a date with another man? Irregardless if she knew him for 50 years or 50 minutes. Info. Why not call your friend your sister? Why not call it a family trip? Does your friend's husband contribute financially to the trip at all when he asks you to take her out? I think you already mentioned you pay for dates with your GF. But do you plan them as well? How much effort do you put in planning dates with your GF? How old is your GF? Can you book 2 rooms instead? Can your girlfriend join you for one of the activities? I've been dating my partner for less than 6 months, but at our age, relationships also move a lot faster, and if they plan such an extravagant date with their best friend of an opposite gender, I'd be upset as well. I'd feel a lot better about it if they didn't share rooms. Or invited me out to maybe a small part of the date though. YTA, because you haven't thought about your girlfriend at all in this. Just because you want to share a hotel room. How difficult would it be to book 2 rooms to ease some of the concerns? Or to invite your girlfriend to some parts of it so you can help form a bond between your girlfriend and your best friend, sister? It seems like you don't care about your girlfriend's feelings at all. You should probably end the relationship if you care so little for your girlfriend. She deserves better. YTA. During this whole thing, you didn't once describe your girlfriend in any positive light. If you're holding her back, let her go. It seems like you are in one committed relationship already. YTA. Everyone in the comments assumes you have a sibling bond. But you only said sister once and said best friend many more times. Along with adding that people have tried to get you to date. That to me says this is not platonic. If you actually grew up as siblings and treated each other as such, people wouldn't see the romance. Not to mention the fact that you keep saying, date. I have a brother. And would never call our outings a date. You're allowed to have platonic relationships, but your connection with her honestly goes beyond that. I cannot see anyone doing all the things you did for a best friend. Unless she had gone through major grief or something. If you want a long-term committed relationship, you have to open up that #1 cheerleader spot. Otherwise, your future wife will always feel like she is in the second seat and you will never treat her as well as you treat your friend. Edited to add. If she is a sister to you as you say, there's no reason you couldn't have invited your GF to join you. By your own admission, 6 months isn't a very long time. Possibly not even enough time for your GF to determine the type of relationship you have with your friend. You know that nothing is going to happen, and her husband isn't worried because as her husband he's had time to see exactly what your relationship is. You are asking a lot from a GF of only 6 months. I put myself in her place and I think I would be just as uncomfortable. Why didn't you invite your GF along so that she could possibly get to know your friend and see the dynamic between the two of you? Your girlfriend probably has hurt feelings because she was excluded from the trip. If you insist on going, get another room. It will show your girlfriend that you care for her feelings at least. YTA. I don't have an issue with you spending time with your almost sister. Although why aren't you getting separate hotel rooms? But you seem deeply apathetic about your girlfriend's feelings. NTA for spending time with your sister, but you probably need to assess your feelings for your girlfriend. It's clear she doesn't mean much to you as you're so dismissive of her feelings. If my partner was spending that much money on someone else and not me, I wouldn't be happy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.